Hello and welcome to What's in this week's Oban Times with me, Fiona Scott. And for this week, and for the next wee while, we've got a blast from the past. Former OT reporter Sandy Neal will be helping out over the next few weeks from deepest, darkest Selkirk, down in the Scottish Borders. So this is while Kathie and I enjoy some very well-earned summer breaks. So welcome, Sandy. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, Fiona. Nice to speak to you and you all in Argyll. It's been a strange time since we last saw each other, but here we are by the wonders of technology and also Stevie in the Oban Times office. Here we are, ready to talk once more.
Talk about what's in this week's paper. Indeed, I've been looking at the recent rise in COVID cases and hearing what COVID officers from both Oban Lawn Rugby Club and Oban Saints have been doing to make sure their players, coaches and spectators are kept as safe as possible. This is wider spread than the sports clubs this week. It seems to be out and about in the community again. Everybody's just taking care. Darryl Williams and Davy Buchanan have both been kept busy after players tested positive, while NHS Highland Director of Public Health, Dr. Tim Allen, is urging caution as we move forward. And if everything COVID-wise is getting a bit too much for you, you can always tune in to Oban FM from 3 to 5 p.m. on a Sunday when Marion Elkin-Greener hosts her mental health musings programme. I spoke to Marion recently about her new slot on the radio and her plans to reach out through social media and mental health in general post-pandemic. So Marion's got a lot to say about things you can do to help yourself come out of COVID and cope with all the issues that it seems to have brought. Sandy, what have you been up to?
Well, this week I was talking to West Coast hospitality businesses about the perfect storm that they're now facing. On the one hand, the best staycation boom in decades, with perhaps 40 to 50 million Brits all holidaying at home, and many of those in Argyll and Lochaber and the Hebrides. But also at the same time, these businesses are facing their worst ever staff shortages due to Brexit, COVID, and burnout from stress quite often. It's so bad that many establishments have had to close, unable to recoup their losses from lockdown. I talked to 4 tourism businesses from Stracher to Skye to see how they were faring. And secondly, I wonder, how did you spend your lockdown? Did you write a novel? I didn't, but I know a man who did. 3, in fact. The historian Alistair Moffat has written a ripping adventure novel, worthy of John Buchan himself. It's like Robert Harris's best-selling Fatherland, imagining that Hitler had won World War II. Moffat's novel, however, is set in a fascist Scotland, and it ends dramatically in Lochaber. And he's got some inspirational words for anyone who wants to sit down and write that book or many books that are in them.
Oh, we'll have a good Alistair Moffat book, Sandy. Good Borders, man.
I know, exactly. It was lovely chatting to him. It felt, I come from Selkirk, which is where I'm broadcasting from now. And it's always like we're all scattered, to the 4 winds, and it feels very nice to feel connected to your homeland.
And our listeners can't see this, but Sandy actually has a map of Jura and the islands behind him at his desk.
And you also can't see this, but for the duration of lockdown, I've been drinking out of my Isle of Jura mug, which is also home. And I've got a little toddler called Hamish, and I've been teaching him what is on the front of the mug is a deer. And at last, after 14 months or whatever, yesterday, I pointed to my mug and said, "What's this, Hamish?" And he said, "Deer."
Oh! I thought you were going to say there you'd been teaching him how to drink Isle of Jura out your mug.
He does that anyway.
Chip off the old block.
Thank you.
Nice to see you and hear you, Sandy, and we'll look forward to what you've been doing over the next few weeks. To read all this week's stories, you can pick up a copy of the Oban Times from supermarkets, local stores, and petrol stations. You can read all our stories online at www.obantimes.co.uk, and you can subscribe to our page-turning digital edition there as well. Here at the Oban Times, we're always happy to hear from you, so stay in touch, tell us your stories and share your photos. You can contact us by calling 01631 568 000 and by emailing editor@obantimes.co.uk. You can also message us on Facebook. So until next time, it's goodbye from me, Fiona Scott.
And me, Sandy Neal.
Bye now.
Bye.